On today's forceful episode, we'll cover PlayStation 6 speculation, the new Xbox Next, Game Force Belgium, Black Ops 7 Zombies, Escape from Duckov, Star Trek Voyager Across the Unknown. Star Trek. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Welcome to the Extreme Gaming Podcast.
Welcome to Extreme Gaming Podcast, episode 303. And I am GreyGamer25, and my friends here are...
Hello, it's Trev as always. Hello, guys.
It's Matt Irish Guardian on Twitch and everything else. Hi, how are you?
And I am Hans, known as Megal from Hell, and still here.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, we're going to kind of roll into the show like we always do and go off on wild tangents and who knows what. Last week was fun because we were running a little short. We only had me and Hans. And I don't know how, but me and Hans got into some discussion and we just kept on going for an extra 20 minutes. It was great.
Yeah.
Everything turned out really, really well.
Impressive.
So we're going to start out with a little bit of hardware news. And Trev, who has been off a couple weeks, is back now. And so he's going to amaze us now. Go ahead,
man. But give them a teaser of what's coming up on today's episode.
Okay. We have special guests that come in and do it now.
It costs us a lot of money.
And sounds much better, too.
I thought they were volunteers.
Well, Matt, their gross out dental plan.
Yeah.
Well, technically they are volunteers, kind of.
Yeah. On the spray tan.
If you all don't know what we're talking about out there, that's okay. Neither do we. No.
That's okay. We don't mind.
We just hijack, kidnap stranger celebrities and just make them do things for us.
Really?
We're like Hollywood.
You want dinner tonight? Do this.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so Trevor's going to start us out on the hardware tech front.
Yeah, I am. Sorry, this was slightly delayed, but it's still relevant, and Hans may want to fall asleep for a few moments, possibly. He doesn't like consoles too much. So, although unfortunately they are, fortunately or unfortunately, they are a necessary evil, but becoming less and less so now as the price of them goes up and up. So, more people will probably be driven to lower powered PCs, but it is obviously we're getting into the PS6 and new Xbox kind of news cycle, leaks and whatnot, because they'll probably be coming in 2027. And we're starting to warm up with them now. We have one for both camps at the moment. The lead architect for PlayStation is a guy called Mark Cerny. And if you hear him talk, actually, he's a pretty interesting fellow. He's a proper geek, architectural geek. He goes right into the silicon and stuff and the architecture behind that. He loves it. And he was on record recently discussing the future of console technology with a chap from AMD called Jack Hunth, who's a big deal with AMD. So they're obviously doing this collaboration thing together where they're working closely and working in tandem because they've got that new version of PSSR coming out, as the boys like, Pisser. Pisser. Or to be replaced by FSR 4.0 probably next year. So, yeah. Which I'm happy about, because I want some goodness on my consoles without having to invest on a very expensive 5000 series graphics card. Oh wait, I did do that. Idiot.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's not that bad, though. It's just the price that's bad.
True. Yeah, well, yeah. Price.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one.
Necessary
I'll remember
evil.
Yeah, the price.
That's perfect, though. It's really good. It's just the price that's bad.
You can,
Tell me I'm wrong in this one. So.
You can maybe make the same argument with the console in terms of it being too expensive to get some ray tracing, especially considering the PS5 Pro is really expensive. As Hans knows, like the guys in the EU get absolutely shafted when it comes to these things. Actually,
it's crazy. If you want a good setup, you got to take €1,000 into account now. Mm-hmm. So,
you pretty much have to be honest here.
Yeah.
It looks like the project they're working on before, Project Amethyst, the joint venture between Sony and AMD is coming through with new technologies and new processes. And one of the comments certainly makes in this article is He says, and I quote, "Overall, of course, it's still very early days for these technologies. They only exist in simulation right now, but the results are quite promising, and I'm really excited about bringing them to a future console in a few years' time." So he's thinking beyond FSR 4.0. This is the next thing, because the consoles in the future will be, you can't just keep doing raw horsepower, because that makes the consoles too expensive. So they're having to look down the machine learning route, because we're getting to the point of diminishing return, as we know. You can't just keep doubling the power every kind of generation expected to get better. So it's looking like the next consoles will actually rely on this a lot, both of them actually. But yeah, so he goes on to also say as well, there's 3 breakthroughs discussed: neural rays, radiance cores, and universal compression. I mean, I've already got a sore head, boys.
Compression.
Yep. They're basically trying to copy, well, not copy, but maybe copy a little bit NVIDIA when they come out with all this fancy technology and quotes and sayings recently that actually gave me a sore head when we're talking about the 5000 series cards. I won't go on in detail about everyone, because it will be too ultra technical and be really sore for people's heads. So neural arrays are designed to tackle the problem of upscaling techs like FSR and PSSR. Instead of having a bunch of compute units all working on their own, we've built a way for them to team up. And I'm quoting this, I didn't make this, he actually says team up, to actually share data and process things together like a single focused AI. Pretty interesting. So I won't go into every detail, but the Radiance cores are designed to make ray tracing less demanding on the GPU by rethinking the entire path tracing pipeline from hardware to software. Which sounds pretty interesting, how they're trying to think outside the box to make things better without it just raw horsepower at it. And then the last thing he talks about is universal compression, which is aimed to solve the bottleneck created by GPU memory bandwidth limitations, which make it harder to handle 4K textures and ray tracing maps. I mean, fair play to these guys. Like, they're really trying to think outside the box about new technologies and new processes. And even if the console did end up getting these things before PC, you know pretty much that PC will get it shortly after. So we're not going to miss out on that one. I know certainly, Hans, you find this kind of stuff interesting, even if it's in the console side, because it'll come to PCs, won't it?
It is very interesting, but the thing is, though, consoles, they are made to be, or they used to be, like a barrier. They didn't have a barrier to entry like PC has, right? Which is the financial aspect, right? So it's a good stepping into gaming is a console. It's a good stepstone to start gaming. It's easy. It's mostly plug and play. Not really anymore with all the updates, but okay, that's another discussion. But it is cool that they're using these technologies, because whether I like it or not, right? Most games are optimized for consoles because they're the lowest common. Also, but they're the lowest common denominator, right? At least
which is still where the money is.
yeah, of course, they go hand in hand, right? So I do think that this is AMD we're talking about, right? AMD is behind NVIDIA at the moment, right?
Yeah.
And I also think they're not going to catch NVIDIA anytime soon, so they have to think of something, and this could be a very cool way for them to, catch up a little bit. But we don't know what NVIDIA is cooking with the 60 series yet, so that's also a bit of a factor. So the question then becomes, do we as PC gamers, are we going to need this or not? We don't know yet. Now, by the way, I hope we get it. Even if it doesn't, the consoles launch and PC doesn't have it, I still hope we get it, because I believe everybody should have everything, right? No matter if you're AMD or NVIDIA or Intel, whatever. So that's my stance on this one. But I think the technology itself is pretty cool if it comes to light.
Yeah. They're thinking way down the line.
Yeah.
They're always thinking a couple of moves ahead. I mean, that's...
They have to, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the upgrade that's coming to PS5 Pro next year and FSR 4.0 equivalent is going to be exciting, because that's probably the second best one behind DLSS, and in my opinion. And and for that to come to a console to get more bang for my buck is cool, because the console's limited. It's limited, so. But yeah, so that was the first leak there. Well, leak. Wasn't really a leak, it was an interview as such. The next one is maybe slightly more interesting because it's regarding the next Xbox, and they tend to go for more raw horsepower than anything else, and it doesn't usually go well with them because on paper the Xbox Series X is actually more powerful than the PS5. But obviously that isn't everything. There's a small bit between them, and PlayStation's able to actually eke a lot more out, to be fair. So Xbox are going to try and obviously do something similar again, but try and push the boat out as much as possible. And I don't know if this is a code name or whatever, but it's Xbox Next. And I hope it's not the Xbox Next, because that's a really
it kind of wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, also.
Oh, man, I hope not. But code name, project name, is rumoured to target a 2027 launch. And we get some partial specs revealed. I'm trying to see if I can find some of the interesting stuff without... I always like talking about this without getting super geeky and technical, because I know it's not for everyone, but people are interested in hardware to an extent on this channel. So, sure. So this will be... I'm trying to find the 4-nanometer process. That's pretty impressive, actually, to be fair. It's going to be...
what have the consoles been before this?
Actually, no, it's 3-nanometer. 3, not 4. I apologise, 3-nanometer. I can't remember what they were before, great, to be honest.
Me neither, sorry.
No. They'll have 68 RDNA 5 CUs disabled from the maximum 70, which apparently you can get. You will get at least 24 megabytes of L2 cache. Seems to be a thing that it's looking like 24 meg is going to be the favoured RAM on next-gen consoles. I reckon it should keep doubling. I reckon it should be 32, but that's just me. I'm trying to see what we've got here. So Zen 6 architecture, up to 3 Zen 6 cores. And that's made up of PS6 Orion cores and 8 Zen 6C cores as well. 192-bit memory bus, and up to 48 gigabits of GDDR7 memory. That's going to be bloody fast. And a TDP of about 250 watts to 350 watts. Not too bad at all. The kind of AI performance, which is not for everyone, but it's kind of important here. They do theirs in tops. 110 tops is the maximum at the highest power level. Now, no one knows the final clock targets, like what this is going to go for at the moment. This is just like a leak at the moment. I can't imagine it'll be too nuts or kind of too heavy. But I reckon certainly from what they're saying here that 4K 120 should be achievable. And you would expect and hope that would be what next-gen consoles should be aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should have already been more like
Shoulda, woulda, coulda with consoles like most of the time.
But properly, like not just to put a badge on, like comfortably. And then, I don't know, like 8K 30, but then no one wants to play a game in 30 FPS, so let's maybe just...
That was my quick question I wanted to ask you then, right? So you say 4K 120, which, by the way, I believe they should, right?
Yeah.
But do you actually believe this is going to happen? Because we're now... Even the PS5 Pro needs to run games at 30 FPS sometimes, which I think is mind-boggling in 2025. And this is not a knock on the consoles, this is just something that I can't understand. But yeah, I know, the limitations are just there. And I don't know. So I would already be happy at guaranteed 4K 60, right? As a console owner, I mean. So
well, that's certainly what you get most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time with the PS5 Pro, at least anyway. It depends if you're taking the upscaling element, the machine learning element into consideration or not.
I think you should, because we as PC gamers do it also, right? We use DLSS. Yeah. We use DLSS also. We use frame gen. I mean, I think consoles should have the technology too, if possible, of course.
Well, they need it more so. I couldn't even argue that, yeah. So I reckon it will be possible, man. The thing that always holds consoles back is not the GPU as such, it's always the CPU.
CPU, yeah.
They never changed or upgraded the CPU for the PS5 Pro. All they done was allowed developers to unlock, was it 5 or 10% more at the expense of the GPU performance because it's an SoC. And that's all that happened there. I get it. You want to have your games customizable across the generation, but you could have that and have your cake and eat it. You could just have faster clocks and then people enjoy faster, shinier games on the Pro, but they still be compatible with the normal consoles. So it's that guy, Moore's Law is Dead. You might have heard of that guy. He leaks quite a few things. So I mean, listen, the next gen will be really interesting. I'm actually intrigued by it just because of the whole AI side of things and where it's actually going to go. Xbox coming out with a more powerful console again, but still being second best. So that might be the last generation.
Third, actually. So yeah.
No, yeah, true. Yeah. There is the mighty Nintendo, of course. Let's not forget about that.
Xbox needs to think of a new hook because the old hook isn't working.
yeah. Bigger is not always better.
I've never seen a company shoot themselves in the foot as many times as Xbox did, to be fair, or Microsoft in this case. I know there's different division, but still. So
with the whole Game Pass thing as well, man. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, and it just pissed me off, man. It's just greed.
It's insane, yeah.
But yeah, the next thing I had on the agenda was this is probably not going to come as a surprise to anyone. But the mighty TSMC, the silicon makers over in Taiwan, they are clearly the biggest at what they do in the world at the moment. And an article came out recently that said they now have a jaw-dropping 71% share of the market, which is quite incredible when you... This is when you have at least three main companies in the world making chips like this, and they have 71% of the share. No wonder NVIDIA and Intel want to team up.
Yeah.
Is it anyway? There's no surprise there at all.
Doesn't Apple get the majority of those wafers?
They do. Yeah. Very good point. Although it won't be the case for their 2nm chips. At least an equal massive share will go to NVIDIA as well. Apple will be there or thereabouts. They always usually are, but they won't be the main guys getting the most of the chips, because these chips take a while to make, don't they? They take a while to not only get the technology, but then to refine them, to then make sure that whenever you get a big piece of silicon,
quality,
you've got to have enough coming off the line as well, Matt, that are of good quality, so that they don't lose money. And when they get up to a certain level, they then say it's in production, and they're booked out for like ages in advance, actually. So
crazy, isn't it? I mean,
they've now got like a fab in Arizona, so that was part of the whole trying to keep our American friends happy, including the big orange guy. He wanted these guys to open fabs there, so they're doing it. Although I find it amusing that they'll have next gen kind of fabs opened in Arizona, like their 2nm. They are still going to bring out their latest designs, like their latest bleeding edge technology in Taiwan, like their 1.4nm that they're looking at the moment. Which is quite right. I mean, you should look after your home market first and foremost, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it's a bit sad and geeky, but I find this stuff absolutely fascinating. If you have some shares in that company, you're going to be eating well, guys. So, poor Intel.
There's a whole story behind how they picked Arizona, and it wasn't because it was the best state over here to build chips. It comes down to the usual thing, politics and money. Because technically, you shouldn't be making the chips in a dry, arid area that's hot as hell.
You need lots of water for fabs.
Because you're already using a lot of energy, and since you're in a hot as hell area, you're going to use more energy. There's also not a lot of water going around Arizona, and what do they need? A lot of water.
A lot of water, yeah.
So obviously somebody was on the I don't know what, and to get it built over there. So it really is. it's a shame. It's kind of stupid. It happens all around the world, I guess.
Well,
In
Gray, where should they have opened one? They should have opened one in Seattle, one of the wettest places.
or believe me, if you look at a weather map,
Washington,
people that are intelligent, they're going to look at it and see what better area around the country would be the best. And Arizona ain't it, but too late.
Yeah,
Wow.
Politics, man. It ruins everything, doesn't it? The usual big players are there booking up most of their trips ahead of time. And, you know, I don't really have a problem with that, to be fair. A bit of competition's good. Sorry?
As a consumer, that's actually not our problem also, who does what. So as long as we...
Competition,
no, wait a minute now. You can say that it's not our problem, and it isn't, but when we end up getting the product as a consumer, it is a problem.
Yeah. The price is a problem now, so, I mean...
Yeah.
Right.
True.
It's not going to get any cheaper, so...
Sometimes the public speaks. I mean, in some ways, like I'll use a different example, but theater houses right now that show movies, right? They are nowhere near their highs of a few years ago because nobody's coming out to see movies now. They only come out to see the blockbusters and nothing else. Mm-hmm. So they're suffering badly. They're not making profits anymore, which is going to push everything towards everyone watching at home.
Yeah,
so
that's the way it's going, man. I don't go to cinema much either.
Very similar to what's going on now.
Me neither.
And I'll tell you another thing to bring up AI again for a second, because I'm into a lot of that. But I've been looking up some interesting articles, and the problem that I see with AI when they were starting to mention tech bubbles, you can imagine that there's 50 or 60 or 70 or 150 different AI things out there that generally speaking are all very similar in one way, and then have maybe extra advantages in one area or the other. But eventually a bubble is going to pop, and about 3/4 of them are all going to go away overnight, and billions will be lost. And the only ones that are going to end up surviving is going to be that small, 20-25%, if that. I mean, and you don't have to be a rocket science or a financial market guru to see this. It's coming. It's impossible. Everybody's spending so much money on it, which we're benefiting from right now, which is cool. But when the dust settles, it's going to be real interesting on how many people lose how many millions. So,
man. Of course,
we'll see.
Always comes down to that. The last thing I have on the agenda here is I'm curious how you boys feel about it, because I don't think anyone's still on it. But tell me if you are. Last week,
sorry.
Great. Well, he wishes. He wishes.
I went to 11.
Microsoft finally ended support for Windows 10, but the small issue, big issue, is a third of Steam players still use it. Security updates, technical assistance, and feature updates will no longer be provided from the 14th of October, so about a week or so ago there.
Unless you pay the money for an extra year.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
That's if you're a business or something, you might want to do that. As an individual, I don't think that's... The thing is, Windows 11's had a lot longer to cook now, so if you're now moving over as of last week or now, hopefully you should be in a better position when it first came out. I've not had any issues, touch wood, but Gray has, I know for sure. Probably Matt has as well. Don't know about Hans.
The little one. I mean, I haven't updated to the 25H yet, so I heard that there's bugs on that one. So I've kind of holding off on that one.
You bring up a good point, Matt, because every time I hear an update drop from Microsoft, the first article I see is the bugs and it's terrible, and they all come out on the internet and YouTube going it's gonna screw your system up and wipe out everything. Oh my god!
It does
the camera.
Drivers and audio drivers are an issue with that one still. So
apparently, and to be fair, I do use a de-bloating tool for Windows 11 every now and then that stops unnecessary processes. I don't really have a lot of problems with Windows 11, but again, I said it before. If Microsoft would just release a gaming OS Windows version,
it'd be great,
and I would get it in a heartbeat. And if not, the day that NVIDIA officially will support SteamOS, I'm out of Windows. So, no.
Yeah, I take it you're all on Windows 11, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will SteamOS be able to handle other apps and stuff with no problem, or not really?
I'm guessing it will just. This is a guess, by the way, because SteamOS is mostly for mobile functions, but there is a desktop version that you can download, right? But the problem with it is, apparently it's pretty good, but the problem is NVIDIA doesn't support any Linux drivers at all, so it's usually a community-driven effort, and you lose a few percentage of, your everything, actually.
Yeah.
So, but again, if NVIDIA decides to support Linux officially, then I would probably move over to a Linux version, because I game on my PC, right? I don't do any content creation like you boys. So for me, it's just the games that I worry about, and I would move in a heartbeat. And I guess.
I mean, if they came out with or Steam's OS was a true game OS, you could just do a virtual machine on your computer.
You
and
can
game
do
through
that right now to test it out if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
I
test
don't
it
know if
out.
I want to test it, but I'm just saying, if it's that good, I would probably think about it for sure. I was just saying that if it was able to run like Microsoft Word and Excel and a bunch of other things, that would be interesting, because
that is one of the Microsoft. Yeah, you make an interesting point here, because Linux, right, is open source and mostly community driven. I'm pretty sure there's a way to to use Office on Linux.
Interesting.
Yeah, but the only problem with Linux is back when Linux started, I was really hoping that it was going to be a challenger to Windows. I thought that would have been great, and everybody was talking about it, and there was so many different videos and interviews and all kinds of crazy stuff. And then since then, there's still a big community out there, but I'm not saying there's not. I'm not saying
as a gamer, right? I would not recommend Linux, because there are restrictions there. Like if you play competitive multiplayer, you can't use your anti-cheat, so you can't go online then. Just an example.
They're saying even today that Linux is a Windows killer, but because they don't have the wherewithal to,
so far it's not.
No one competes with Windows, basically.
I gotta be honest though, things I've seen from Linux, they're pretty goddamn cool, right? It would just, it kind of works out of the box now, so to speak. Even you don't need to configure anything anymore. But again, if you're a gamer, there's a few downsides at that moment, and I'm gonna get the whole Linux community on my back now. But, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
You can't play competitive multiplayer. Not a problem for me, but a problem for a lot of other people. Like Gray, you want to play Battlefield 6, right? I don't think you can go online on Linux. Please don't shoot me if I'm wrong. So
that's the problem with the Steam Deck, isn't it? What we talked about before, because Proton is what it's built on, the SteamOS, and that comes from Linux. And these keys like Ricochet and whatnot, they will not support, or anti-cheat or easy cheat will not support Linux, which is wrong. There's so many people have Steam Deck.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you, Trev, on this one. So,
the thing is, like, Windows 10 was supposed to be the last one. I don't know if you ever remember that quote. So Apple were doing the same. That they've had version 10 for ages, but up to like 10.1, 2, 3, 4. And they just bring out a new version each year, but they try and just keep it roughly the same, just add bells and whistles to it. If it's not broken, you don't need to do a lot to fix it. And I remember roughly about the same time, Windows going, right, okay, we'll bring out Windows 10. So they bypassed Windows 9, didn't they? They just bypassed it and went, right, let's go straight to bloody 10, which is a nice even number. And then they would just bring out iterations every year. But
I want Windows Millennium back. Can they do that?
I love Windows Me, man. I love Windows Me. I did. Well, XP was my favourite, boys.
That was my favourite. XP,
yeah,
absolutely.
And actually, 7 was also really good.
Windows 7 was good.
Yeah.
Not Vista. Not Vista.
No.
We're not speaking of Windows 8.
No, that doesn't exist.
Hey, I miss 3.0. I miss Windows 3.0, man. Come on,
let's go.
That was revolutionary back when I went to school. Like,
or 3.1 was the first GUI version.
Windows for Workgroups was 3.1.
Yeah. Was it? Yeah, that's it.
3.11. Actually, 3.11 to be exact.
All right. Okay, fancy pants.
I remember that when it came out, I had a chance to pick it up, so I did. So
Gray was on the development team.
In there to install it.
He was there.
You just.
He was there, Gandalf. 5,000 years ago.
You just keep your floppies out of this, Gray, right?
I want to say too much about floppies, because I probably own more floppies than anyone here.
You showed us them.
I still got. I don't.
Have you got those big ones, the big black ones? What are they?
Yeah.
I don't have any of those. I remember messing with them, but I don't have any of those.
Oh, the BBC computers had that, Matt. Sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. I remember that. That was like ancient, but I didn't know what they did exactly. I was young then, but it was pretty. Yeah, they were big, man.
Oh, deja vu, man.
Yeah. They used to have, was it English programs on there to teach me how to read and write and say words, speech thingies. Yeah.
We had a drawing in school. We had a drawing program, like a turtle and a pen, and you need to draw lines and stuff. So
those things held what, like a megabyte?
Yeah,
the whole disk.
Yeah,
I could actually check, but it means I have to get up, so no.
Yeah. Or if you remember zip disks, the like hard floppy disks. Remember
hard
them?
ones? Yeah.
I said that because I was gonna say that.
And then they brought out 100 megabyte, and you're like, oh my god, so much storage.
I don't have. I swear to God, I had. Oh, I don't have them in here.
Your zip drive. You had a zip drive, Gray.
Oh yeah, I still have about a dozen zip disks.
That's cool. Keep that shit, man. Keep that shit, because you like
keep it.
Display thing.
In future centuries from now, right? If we ever die out and like aliens or future visitors come and they'll be like, "Whoa, what are this? Is this to keep you cool? Is this a fan or something?" When they're going through all the wreckage. Anyway, massive tangent. You won't be surprised. So Windows 10 was supposed to be the last one. They lied. They brought out Windows 11, and then. They said that'd be the last one. They lied. Windows 12 is coming out, but it's probably going to be... Well, I can't remember when the last release date was. It's next year or 2027.
Yeah, but didn't they say they were going to stop the numbers and just go Windows 2027, 28, 29, whatever?
But they stopped that.
365.
They've changed their bloody minds. It's the last I heard is they're going to just bring out Windows 12 at the relevant point because it's about making money. Like us as the punter, the user won't pay for it because we don't make them a lot of money. No. Only if we're using Xbox Game Pass do we make them lots of money. But no, in seriousness, we make them more money as a company, as an organisation. So they would give the copy to us and let us upgrade for free, like they have done for the last few generations. It's the companies or the new copies sold where they get the money. I mean, I bought Windows 11 copies and I paid like a few pounds for a key, and it's been a legitimate key. Yeah. I'm not paying 80 quid or whatever.
Keys, huh? Yeah. OEM keys.
Yeah, OEM.
Are they going to give away Windows 12 for free like they did with 11?
They probably will, mate. And 10, they gave us an upgrade for free. They probably will, actually, because let's say we're not the guys that they make the money from. The majority, it's or bigger organisation.
More free, brutally.
That's a bit of deja vu. It's always nice to talk about old tech and stuff. I love it, guys. But yeah, that is me for the hardware tech news. Thank you, please.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we're gonna roll into some game stuff. Hans was nice enough. He planned to go down to the Game Force Belgium to see what was going on. He's getting to be our roving convention goer now. He's been to Gamescom.
Reporter on the floor.
Force. He sent me a lot of pictures and stuff, and on the visual our podcast on YouTube will have these pictures on it. So if anybody's listening to the audio podcast right now, please tune into YouTube and you'll see the pictures and a bunch of other stuff that we do to it. But so what was it like, Hans? I mean, the pictures you sent me, it was actually looked better than I thought it was going to look.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I was a bit surprised because I do know that Gameforce in Belgium is kind of a big name, right? It's not a big convention, in the big picture, so to speak, because it's just locally over here, It's nothing like Gamescom or anything, and there were actually 3 cons in one. It's Gamescom, Made in Asia, and then Superhero something. But you can't see which is which because it's all, they're all standing.
They're all mixed together?
Yeah, they're all mixed together. So anyway, apparently during the weekend they had 60,000 visitors, which is, in my opinion, really good for, an organization like that.
For a smaller show, that's like outrageous. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good. So, and the layout was quite a bit the same like Gamescom. We entered and the first thing we saw was a Nintendo booth, right?
Of course.
To be fair, exactly the same games as on Gamescom. so you had your Mario Kart and your Donkey Kongs and nothing special there that you could do. Apparently there is a new Mario game in development.
The rumors say that, yes.
Not sure what that was all about, but I heard some people talking about that, so not sure if that is true. But anyway, they were working with Nintendo, so I'm guessing they gotta know something, right? And then there was this whole retro area, which I sent you some pictures of. We can actually see all the older consoles. They aligned them like perfectly, and like the first one, the second one, and all the consoles.
Started looking like an old LAN party. I was like looking.
It was kind of nice to see. So. And then the biggest computer shop in Belgium also had a huge stand over there with all of their builds, and I was kind of intrigued. I saw a cooler there, and I was like asking, "What cooler is this?" Like, and he's giving me an whole explanation. It's a Lian Li cooler, Lian Li build. Like, this is so cool. I like it, but Lian Li isn't compatible with my. I have a pure Corsair build, right? So I can't use IQ and all kind of stuff. So that would mean I need another program for RGB. Apparently, they're also not compatible with Signal RGB, which was kind of a downer. But man, it was so cool to see. Anyway, and then there was a racing sim, which I also think essentially, and there was a Red Bull F1 car there from a few generations back that they had on display, which you couldn't touch. At all.
Couldn't touch.
For the fans out there, I'm not sure if it was Max Verstappen's car or not. I don't know. So, just saying.
Do you like F1 hands?
Not anymore. Like the last 10 years have been pretty boring. To be fair, it's there's always one person dominating, and if you take in account the person that is in first place, they actually get some quite interesting racing. But everything that happens at the front is like, okay, it's just. They win with 20, 30 seconds. Like, okay, this is boring. But okay, side tantrum. So
that's what we're about.
But and then also at the Game Force, I got a chance to talk to some developers, local ones, because that's one cool thing they do, right? So they have this unique place where the local developers, like Belgian developers, can have their stand and talk to the public. And I actually connected with one. I don't know if he responded to you already, Gray. Did you get a response back yet?
Yeah, I've been talking to him a little bit.
Oh, cool.
So I was hoping to see if I didn't know if he had a demo version of his game out, but he just answered me and said that they hope to have a demo version in the coming weeks. So
yeah, there was a playable version of Game Force, but it wasn't really a demo. It was secluded to one small area because they're making an open world game. In which case, like from what I understand, so he told me that the local animal kingdom has been destroyed, and you play as another to rebuild the whole ecosystem. I guess it is, which actually it didn't look too bad for what it is, right? Some of
the pictures look good.
They're a 4-person development team, which they're working on this thing for 8 months. They're gonna release it only on Steam. The Steam page is gonna go up at some point. And I'm sure he will tell Gray when it's up. And I'm actually interested in playing the game when it's out. Just, it's a low barrier to entry again. Like my girlfriend, she just started gaming again. Right?
Oh, I thought you meant like your girlfriend. She was a low
barrier, right? My girlfriend, she talked to that guy, but she's kind of a low barrier, but that's a different topic.
That one because all three of us thought the same thing at the same time.
It may or may not have been on purpose. Who knows?
I hope she's listening to this part of the program.
She is listening. That's why I'm saying.
She is Scottish, so it's possible.
Cut this out. But she really wants to start gaming, right? And games like that are a very good entry point because. Like with a controller, she doesn't even know how to use a controller.
What games would she be interested in, Hans? Would you think if she?
You're gonna love this. What I'm gonna say now.
Just to impress.
Rust.
No, that's way too complicated for her. We'll get back to that one in a second, by the way.
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen. That would really screw her up.
Oh yeah.
I actually got her to play The Last of Us Part 1.
Ah, nice.
Because of the story. Yeah.
Story, and to be fair. The controls are pretty basic in that game, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's an ideal game to learn to move around, learn to use your camera. So, and she's actually in the... I don't think she has met Ellie yet, so she's still in the beginning, but she was able to do the first part where you run away with Joel and her daughter dies. Spoilers again for somebody, before they start complaining.
Start playing and watching the game so many times.
Yeah. So, but actually it was an ideal game
like
for
saying
her.
Clark Kent is Superman. Oh, really?
What? Ray, spoiler.
Yeah. That's the whole thing ruined for me.
Yeah, no. Seriously, Game Force actually had fun. There was a lot of cool gaming stuff there that you could buy. I was like, I don't want to break my bank here, and I bought nothing. So I've been a very good boy. I didn't spend any money, but
Hans,
I do.
You just reminded me of something. You sent me a picture, and I'll put it in the YouTube podcast. But it was a picture of a, I think it was a serpent or something.
The huge dragon serpent thingy.
Yeah, it was a huge statue, and I'm sitting there going like, "Wow, that's cool." And I'm sitting there dreaming of you buying that thing. Like,
okay, you really know me well, don't you? So the only reason, right, that I didn't buy that is because I couldn't fit it in the car. And it was 1,000 euros. Right. So I was like, I need this in my life, and then we just looked at it. Me and my girlfriend's like, we have to lug this around for the whole convention to start with.
You could have left her behind. She was a low barrier to entry. Right? You could have left her behind and had room for it.
Yeah, but there's still some stuff I need every now and then from her. So
rent a van, man.
I mean,
yeah, that's it.
How much were they asking for that?
What? Sorry, say again, Ray?
How much were they asking for that statue?
1,000 euros.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's a lot of money.
Graphics card, but statue.
Yeah, but you know what? Even though it's not really that much, considering it was awfully good looking and it was huge.
It is. Yeah.
So really, I was like, smaller things cost as much.
Yeah, this is not going to fit in the car, so we're not buying this. So
darn.
This is why there's a roof on a car.
Well, I shouldn't say this, but my car is a convertible. But yeah.
Roll back that sunroof and stick it out the top.
Yeah, just squish on your laps.
Yeah, so
you're lucky you'd go into a bridge, it'll just break it right off.
Yeah, true.
Like,
yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, I would scream.
Head ornament.
But there were so many cool. I sent you the ones from Resident Evil, right?
Yeah.
And those were so cool. I like this.
Yeah.
There's a statue inside a diorama. I was like, I want this. If I was a millionaire, I would have bought everything probably.
I think I saw more statues from the pictures you sent than previous shows. There's a lot of
yeah. There was actually more statues and all that kind of stuff than there were actual games. To be fair, so there was this
also and I'll put it in the video, but there was a lot of props too that were kind of interesting. There's people making
3D printing
prop guns,
on the spot.
prop knives and swords.
Yeah. People were 3D printing on the spot, which is actually cool to see because I don't own a 3D printer, but I think it's so freaking cool. You do? Yeah, I think
they're cool.
It's so really
I've
cool.
Not used mine in
what
ages.
people can do. A friend of mine is actually making good money with his 3D prints now. So he prints them out and he paints them, and it takes a lot of trial and error. But he's at a point now that he's actually making almost a livable wage selling those things.
Nice.
Which I think
on Etsy and stuff, eBay and whatnot. Yeah.
Yeah, he's selling it now. For now, he's selling it locally and Facebook Marketplace and that kind of stuff. But I told him, I said, dude, if this continues, you need to quit your job and just go full time in that one because you're gonna make a lot more money. Yeah. It's a risk, but the way he's doing it,
and you might be happier as well.
These days, it might be worth it.
He now made this giant Kratos statue, right? And I think it's 63 centimeters. I think it is. And he painted it almost correctly, and he doesn't have a price yet, but he's thinking 450. Which is gonna sell immediately, probably.
If it's really good quality, it will, mate.
It is, it is. So
I wish Trev lived over here because then we could split it and then we could just move it to each other's house every month.
You know what? I could actually, say to him, look, mate, give me that statue and I'll do a sponsorship from now on the show. So I can send it over. So that's what I can do. So
we're a YouTube partner now. We can do these collabs.
Yeah. So and just one more thing I want to say because I kind of promised my daughter this one. So we went on Saturday because it was her 13th birthday. So congrats to my daughter.
Happy birthday!
And
she's a teenager now. You're screwed, mate. You are so screwed now. She's a teenager officially. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. No worries. But she, before the show, right? Matt was a witness to this. She barged in here and, she put this plushie here, right in the back. So for those that can't see it, right, it is from a game she's playing on Roblox called Fighting, right?
Yeah.
Apparently this is called Medkit. I had to ask to be fair.
Oh, that Meth Kit. What was that?
Medkit.
Medkit.
And my camera's now zooming because this is a face. So you go back here now. It's a game she really loves. So this was actually a collection edition plushie. You need to kickstart, and I gave it to her a few months ago, and the kickstart, it worked. And well, here's a plushie now, and that's actually a birthday present also. But I promised her that I would, show it on the podcast, and you know how kids are, right?
It's
cool, man. It's cool. It's gaming related, so
It is.
good.
Yeah, no. I mean, you may not like Roblox, but it's usually popular.
I
don't play it. Nobody here plays it, I think. But
only great.
The way the millions of players online at every single moment of the day, so who are we to say it's not good?
Over here, it's the Labubu's and the fake Lafufus, and
they're over here too, Gray. Don't worry about that one.
Oh my god, South Park done such a funny episode in Labubu's. That's the first time I've heard of them, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Apparently now the new trend is 6-7, and I have no idea what it is.
I have no idea.
Oh no, that's been going. Yeah, my grandson's into
you
that.
know it? Gray knows it. Now I want to know what it is.
I still don't really know what it is. He comes up and I say, "What's 6-7?" He goes like, "Well, it's like a, and I'm like, "Okay."
No, I don't know.
yeah.
So now we still don't know because.
You want to hear a funny story? So he's got like an Instagram account, and they just make goofy things and send them to each other. So he goes, "Papa, can you do 6-7?" And I go like, "Yeah, I guess." I mean, I'm sitting there going like, "I don't even know what the hell it is." So I sat there on camera going like this, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, and then he did something goofy to it and sent it out to his friends. His friends loved it. They were like,
I need to be more in sync with. I need to be more in sync with internet lore because I have no idea what this means at the moment. So
yeah.
Wow.
I thought it was just a Gen speak for good shit or something.
Well,
confused.
Like, huh?
Well, today she got a report card and there's no 6 or 7s on there. Let's just say that. We're not gonna do any more than that.
Yeah.
Which will keep the plushie.
I won up my grandson. I said, "So you do know that I'm 67?" And he goes, "Oh yeah, 6'7". I said, "Yeah, but next week I'll be 6'8".
Whoa!
You broke it.
6'8",
baby.
And I said, "Well, that doesn't matter. You start a 6'8" thing, and maybe it'll go across the country."
Yeah.
Anyway,
awesome,
we digress, but we have fun to do that.
Yeah.
A couple quick things. If you want to join our Discord, discord.gg/extreme gaming podcast. We've had about 25 people join in the last couple months. You're welcome to it. We talk about all the stuff that we talk about here, but we also talk about entertainment and other wild stuff, so it's a lot of fun. Also on YouTube, as I mentioned before, you will see a video version of this to where we put all what we like to call the shinies, and we put in some special pictures and or other videos and stuff like that you won't see or experience on the audio podcast. We also do our breaks, which are basically chunks of our podcasts so that you can digest them in quick bites, as they say. Sometimes we also do some shorts, and we also have YouTube memberships now because we're a partner. So if you can if you're looking at the video right now, please like, subscribe, ring the bell so you know what things are going on. And if you would like to join up on the membership, there'll be some special things like seeing maybe the podcast earlier than everybody and or some of the other things that we do a little bit earlier. One other thing I wanted to bring up too is we're doing a cross promotion with gameho.io. That's GAMEHO.io. And if you were listeners of our show, not too long ago, we had Merrick who started Gameho a couple years ago. One of the reasons why we wanted to talk to him is because I had never seen anything like this before, where we have all participated in servers on rare occasions, but the reason why we end up giving them up is because they cost too much money and we don't have time to play it every day. He's come up with a unique system where you can have your own game server, but you only pay as you play. So if you're playing 10 hours a week and then you stop, the money machine stops too, and you don't owe anything until the money machine starts up again. Almost like a cab, right? So, and no, I haven't seen anybody do anything like this, and I haven't seen any even competition do anything like this. So that was very cool and unusual. And if you want, you can look back on our old videos and you'll find the video that we did. We also did quick breaks on it, so you can take a look. But what we're doing with them is that normally when you go on gameho.io, you see as you register, you get 3 months free of server time so that you can experience it and play it. But if you go to gameho.io EGP, as in Extreme Gaming Podcast. So that's GameHo, GameHo.io/EGP. When you get there, you will get an additional 4 hours on top of the 3 that you got when you normally. So in all, you'll get 7 hours totally free to use on GameHo on a server that you can do stuff with your friends. Right now, I think his servers have about 5 different games. He kind of lets the public dictate whether he adds any other games to the servers, but he has things, a couple different programs there. So we've been trying to get him to do Rust. I don't know if he's going to do it, but we've been kind of pushing him on that one. But there's a lot of programs that you'll be familiar with and so forth. So for 7 hours, just go to gameho.io/EGP, pick up on the 3 and pick up on another 4 with that. And it'll be a special page that we both are worked on, and now you'll be able to join and get 7 hours total. So take a look at that, and I think and make us all happy, as they say.
That is awesome.
All right, so we're going to move on a little bit to some gaming stuff. Matt's got some things he wants to talk about, so take it away there, Matt.
6-7. 6.
Yeah.
I just had it with yeah. So Jump Space. Yeah. So I jumped into this because somebody said, "Oh, we should buy this and play this together."
I bought it.
Yeah, you bought it.
I haven't played it yet, but I bought it.
No, you're idiot. I'm so fucking waste money. Anyways. Yeah, it's all right for what it is. So anyway, it's a new co-op space survival and exploration game that currently is in early access. It's been getting some attention because it blends teamwork, ship management, and roguelike elements into one package. So here it is so far. It's about the co-op gameplay where you and your crew, which would be your co-op buddies, depending on who's playing. Anyways, where you manage your spaceship, jumping between hostile sectors, repairing your systems, putting out fires, crafting ammo, and fighting off enemy ships, drones mainly, while trying to survive long enough to progress. The co-op focus is designed to shine in multiplayer. Many players describe it as spacefaring chat room with chaos. Where quiet
spacefaring chat room?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, where quiet stretches suddenly explode into frantic firefights. That must be happening on somebody else's server because I didn't get none of that. Well, it wasn't frantic.
Well, not yet.
Yeah, I didn't see much chaos either. That's what I was playing.
Were you playing with other people or just PvE yourself?
So, well, it is all PvE. There's no PvP elements to it at all. So,
okay.
Yeah. I played a bit on my own just to see how it is, how it acts, how it reacts to myself. And I was seeing the same thing over and over again, the same enemies, the same characters, the same sort of thing. I was just like, this isn't, I can't see myself playing this for a long time, sort of thing. Yeah. And then Scythe joined in with me. And so we had a few goes probably for a few days, and pretty much at the end of it was, we all just kind of went, well, after leveling up a bit and unlocking little bits of the ship, it just felt so bland at that time of playing it. So we ended up just going, we'll play something else. For us,
I did hear the single player was not worth it, but that the co-op was definitely where it's at.
It's kind of where it's at. I mean, you'd have to have anything within the game. You'd have to play with others. But, it's only like 4 of you going off and taking on these, environmental droids.
Well, is there just not enough content?
There isn't. No, I mean, there's not enough difference as well. Everything looks kind of the same.
You know what the answer would be on that one? If we were talking to the devs, they would go, it's early access.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
So, day one.
Yeah, day one. Access to nothing. It's just like, I mean, some people say it's roguelike, which runs, procedurally generated encounters. So, if your ship was destroyed, you'd have to start over. But the thrill comes to, I don't know. They say that it's skin to your teeth survival moments. It isn't. Not to me as well. I don't know. Maybe I just got the bad generated nonsense. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they heard of me and went, let's just give them some rubbish to keep them going. So anyway, IGN, they did an early access review. They praised the exhilarating highs when crews are barely surviving disaster. So I guess that's when you're further ahead, then maybe it gets a little bit more edgy. It's worth a short trip through the stars, they noted. Though the mission variety is still very limited and the game clearly needs more content. So that's from IGN. Some of the positives were fun with friends, smooth co-op gameplay, no major bugs or crashes. There is strong potential if developers keep adding. They need to add stuff to it, honestly. Just add something. I don't know, anything. Just put whatever. Just throw things in. Just get in.
Are you sure you didn't get the early access version?
Yeah, I probably just got that. Yeah, just 5 things. That was it. Yeah,
you got the stick drawings.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I just got the pixels and this. Yeah, and the layers. That's it. There's definitely a lack of progression that people said with the systems. That feels a bit shallow. Missions are very repetitive. Level design is very simple, reflecting early access states. Yeah, so it is kind of enjoyable to a point, but as long as you have, people around you that are fun and engaging, and I think they are the people that make the story for the game, not the game itself. Yeah, so it didn't hit me that well on a jump. Take a jump, I say. Take a jump, come back when it's all got something in it. There you go.
It'll be about a year from now.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Well, it isn't that expensive, is it?
It's not, no. I think I got it for $20. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Something, I think I'm 23 or something.
Yeah, wasted $20.
Well,
Poor man.
you know what? These days when it's only a quarter of the $80,
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm anxious to hear your next one because you're talking about Star Citizen and a lot of stuff's been going down from what I'm understanding. You're going to make sense of it all right now, right?
I'm going to try. Yeah. Yeah. So, Star Citizen news brief for October 2025. Welcome to the Verse Report, your quick hit for Star Citizen news. Let's jump in to the verse.
You sound like the news guy for
I do, don't I?
for Robert's Space Industries.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Chris. You can all have a free ship today.
My name's Jeff.
Yeah, my name. Yeah. So, Cloud Emporium has launched Alpha 3.2. Officially branded the fractured
3.2. What?
Yeah, 367. 4.3.2. Oh my gosh, they need to just shorten these things out. Officially branded the Fractured Frontiers. That's what I'm calling it. This patch focused on stability and core gameplay. Salvage has been overhauled, with the Reclaimer now dominating the large-scale operations, and the Vulture remains the solo salvager's best friend. The new sweet spot mechanics reward precision, making salvage more skill-based than ever. So yeah, every scrap you get has a certain amount of goodness to it. The best bits you get, the more money you make. So there we go.
It's like collecting bottles when you were younger.
Pretty much.
Fill the bottle and turn them in for a nickel.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't have that. I think Newcastle
You guys
had
don't
that.
remember any of that stuff. I do.
Yeah. I remember giving it to people. That's about it. Give me a bottle. Okay. So, bug fixes included this respawn issues, tractor beam glitches, which is still kind of there, and AI turret malfunctions, which kind of helped me. Now it doesn't help me at all. Yeah. So there's fresh content too. The Day of Vara, which is the Halloween event, returns with a derelict wreck. Yeah. And exclusive cosmetics. While Fight for Pyro introduces dynamic PvP and PvE battles across contested zones. There's 2 new ships that join the fleet, the Anvil Paladin, which is actually a pretty nice gunship, and the Asperia Stinger Fighter, which is an alien.
Is that a buy-in game or buy?
No, you can buy in game. Eventually, I think it's still on the main shops, the real shops at the moment. But I think in a few months it gets dropped once they fix everything out of it, and then they'll drop it into the verse where you can buy it in game, which is what I've been doing with ships now. in game only. So see how that goes. So far, I've kept my ships, so I'm pretty happy. This Stinger fire though, it looks like a bird prey shaped bird ship. Oh, it's bloody awesome. Love it. What's the other missions where you got the ASD missions where you have to go around trying to look at research labs that are illegal and they've been shut down, but somebody's been using it on the side, so you have to go around and try and find what's going on. There's also priority missions where you have to go on bounty hunting missions or data missions where you have to go off and investigate areas and things. That's awesome. And of course, you got the Frontier rebels who are going around. If they are rebels, maybe they're not rebels, but you have to go and find them.
They're rebel scum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Lock her away.
You're part of the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been quite exciting there. But they had a CitizenCon online going on quite recently.
They have their own con. Wait, what?
They have. Yeah, CitizenCon.
Is it a Wrath?
The Wrath of CitizenCon. Yes. It should be.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Saying
Great.
that, we have the Genesis
I
program.
want to see how long it would take for him to get there.
Yeah. Are you proud of yourself, Gray? Are you proud of yourself, mate? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That needs a round of applause. I like that. Yeah. So
Yeah.
in
Wait,
this,
I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to make sure that you
Because-
talk about Squadron 42 because I'm totally confused as to what that is.
so that is the single player campaign. That's part of the whole squadron thing.
Didn't they promised that like 15 years ago or something?
Yeah, it's coming out next year
Yeah, sure.
for sure.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'll bet my new socks on it. Yeah. So I think at the beginning,
Yeah, but isn't that game that's totally separate from the?
it is now, but it wasn't before. So at the beginning of the backing, it used to be included the campaign and the online gameplay was one package. You could buy it in one package. But then I think, was it last year or a couple of years ago, they ended up splitting them, unfortunately. So new backers or new people to the game would have to buy each one separately.
And have you heard? I've heard little things about people that are on the main game for so many years are upset that some of the devs have been taken off of the main game and on to Squadron 42, so they feel that not enough stuff's getting fixed now in the main game.
Well, they're trying to make the campaign match the lore of Star Citizen. So Star Citizen is something that's happening in retrospect after Squadron 42. So that's like a precursor. So everything that's happening in Squadron 42 has to have some sort of lore in Star Citizen. So it's all kind of makes sense on where, the timelines and all that stuff going through. So everything that happens there has an effect. So whatever happens there in Squadron 42 has to be within the current Star Citizen. So everybody knows what's going on, who the enemy are, who are the Vandals and all this stuff. And, why is certain people dead and why is the UEE always up in arms? Sort of thing. I thought we eradicated this.
By the way, is there any free to fly weekends coming up again? Or?
There will be, absolutely. Yeah. They do love their flights a week. Well, I would say weekends, but it's more like a week.
Whatever.
Yeah, so you get like a bunch of ships once there's a free week that you go out and you could test them out. You could do whatever you want in the game as any other player would do. Sort of thing. If you do back the game from that, you get like a discount. And of course, you got people who have a player code that you can redeem to get extra money off and extra in-game money when you join, sort of thing. So it's quite good.
Cool.
Yeah.
I got to ask one last question about Star.
I mean,
I know I always ask this to you,
Yeah.
but from the last time you played it at length to this time, have things improved more in terms of like all the bugs and blah blah blah?
Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot less game crashes and a lot less account issues. So people who weren't able to log in prior, who I've known a few people in our Discord who were like, I can't get on at all. I can't play it. So they've pretty much eradicated that issue. When we used to get 30k things happening all the time, that stopped. Falling through floors mostly has been stopped as well.
That's always good.
Yeah. When they do the server, if anything happens to the server, it freezes for a while, but then it brings you straight back into the game, so you don't have to leave it and come back in after a while or anything. That's been sorted out as well. So it drops you back into another mesh, doing the same thing. You don't lose anything this time around, which is awesome.
That's good.
There's still a few hickory-dickories with the map, the system map, when you're trying to click on something now. Sometimes it won't do it. You have to actually go to the system itself and then click on it. But they're trying to eradicate all this. You have to go this way to get to there. They're trying to bring in where if you want to go that way, you can go that way. That's fine. Just go. So they're trying to bring that in the new update that will be coming soon, which I like to say that.
Soon.
So there you go. Yeah, along with the new planetary tech called Genesis.
Version 8, 0.896548342113.
Line 2, Captain. Yeah. There's
decimal
something
point.
in. Yeah. There's too many points.
All right,
Captain.
well, I appreciate that, Matt. That was a pretty good overview of everything.
I haven't even
especially
finished
Star
yet.
Citizen. Oh, never mind then.
No.
Go ahead.
So, at it. So,
You done? No,
no, we're not. I've only just got started, mate. Right, here we go. Clean your ears and wet your whistle. It's going to be a long one, sir. Yes, so CitizenCon is where I was, have revealed of its new Genesis planetary tech. Dun-dun-dun. I would have pictures, but I put it in the Discord instead because I can move over to
That's okay. I'll put them in the video for sure.
Damn sexy stuff. Anyway, am I allowed to say sexy? I just did. Anyway, this next-gen system creates dynamic biomes based on geology and climate with seamless transitions from orbit to surface. A lot better. The new Nyx system will be showcased with lush wetlands on Nyx 1, toxic wastelands on Nyx 2, and a massive gas giant in Nyx 3. It's the biggest leap in planetary realism since Stanton. There you go. CitizenCon highlights also confirmed that Nyx will go live in Alpha 4.4 this November. Or Movember if you do the Mo thing. There you go. So, yeah. Server meshing is now stable at a scale supporting up to 700 players per shard. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. There you go, in shared space. And it's been really nice. It's been very smooth so far. There's new missions, as I said, the Vandal raids, and also even the first look at the FPS gear crafting are on the horizon. There we go. Now, the message is clear. The frontier's fractured, the stakes are rising, and the verse is about to get a whole lot bigger. That's enough of your Star Citizen
like
update.
Firefly. The verse is getting bigger.
Yeah.
The verse. That's what they called it in that.
Now
I
you
love
gotta
that
start
show.
speaking Chinese and English, because they did that on Firefly a lot. Is that it now, Matt? Or I don't want to mess you up again.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow, that's a big update. That's impressive.
That is big.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot more, but
more updates and whatnot. We'll move to Trev, and he's got some news too.
Yes, maybe one article is slightly older, apologies, but it's still relevant because the game is not out yet. And yes, you're all going to hate me. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Yeah, we know. The tumbleweed's coming out from Matt. He's doing his own sound effects right now. That's not tumbleweed. That's you've been on
might have actually
the
saved
biscuits.
them because Battlefield 6 is going to kill them. So.
The reason I was interested in this is that I'm mostly usually interested in the zombie stuff when it comes out. I am. It's fun. I usually try to play that. Well, if I've got a friend who loves playing COD, zombies, and we play that, and it takes me right back to Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, where you had the story mode of COD, and brilliant. They're actually going full out this time around this. Game comes out next month, but ahead of time, for those that are really into this, the classic prestige mode will return this year, which is good because I don't like the system they have at the moment. Players who reach level 55 will then have the option to return to level 1, prestige 1, and then the level cap system goes all the way to level 10, which includes the usual unlockable skins, blueprints, additional rewards, etc., etc. The game's launching with 16 maps, which is very impressive. It's very decent, that. 30 weapons, which is a bit low, but 16 of them are new to the franchise. So no one's actually seen them before. And the new thing they're going with this is across all the modes, you'll be able to share weapon blueprints with other people via weapon codes. Because sometimes you'll see a weapon, go, oh, that looks nice. How do I get that? There's your code. Okay, now I have one as well. It's not so unique anymore.
Cool.
So yeah, they're going for a little kind of story mode again, in the zombie mode, which I like the kind of look of, to be honest with you. I had a little look at their video, and it's called Ashes of the Damned. It's going to be the biggest round-based zombie map in Black Ops history. So that's the only reason I'm interested in that, and I've still got Xbox Ultimate for the moment until it runs out. And there'll be another new mode, Cursed, which you start with a pistol and your wits in this new game mode designed for players looking for a more dangerous zombie experience. I really don't need any more danger in my zombie experiences, thank you. It goes on to say, seek out relics in the dark ether that administer debuff modifiers. Try saying that 10 times quickly whilst pissed. When activated, keep digging to unlock more powerful relics and earn special benefits and rewards along the way. Another new mode, I think this might be the multiplayer side of things, Overload, was also announced. In this mode, players fight over a device which they must carry into Pacific Control Zone to score points. I've seen something like this before, to be fair, like you follow a little AI robot or something into the area. That's not so new, but the Ashes of the Damned sound like fantastic, because I'm all up for like massive
Carrying
maps.
the ball around. That sounds a lot like Destiny 2, when you used to have to carry the ball around and
Yeah,
throw
I
it down
remember
the
that.
throat of the...
I
Yeah,
remember that.
same kind of thing.
November 14th, the game comes out. So I'm not buying it early because it's on, it'll be Xbox Ultimate. So I'll just play it for a bit when it comes out. Then
then your pass dies and you're done.
yeah, pretty much. I haven't played the campaign in a COD for a long time, man. I'll be honest, it's not usually about that. Yeah. The other things really quickly on the list that I like to bring up, if there's any other good, decent games in any of the Game Passes, like I've said in the past, I like to mention them only if there is. There's one or two little gems coming out for October's Game Pass. Some games are already out. Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 enhanced editions for the PC.
Really good games.
Yeah, you want to go back to the classics, they've been enhanced, upscaled, whatnot, go and check them out. The other one, I remember this, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And then we'll get Ninja Gaiden 4, which is a lot newer. That's out on October the 21st for Game Pass Ultimate and PC Game Pass. I probably will give that a little shot because that looks pretty cool. I remember the Ninja Gaiden games back in the day, and they're kind of fun. So, yeah. The last things I've got on my docket really quickly are just rumours at this stage from the lead actor that's doing voice work that there might be a Resident Evil 0 remake. Now, it's called Project Chamber. Have any of you guys ever played the Resident Evil 0? I thought it was like a Nintendo exclusive, like a GameCube or something. Has anyone ever played it?
Never played it, did hear of it, saw videos, of course, like most of us here, I guess. And yes, please, remake as much Resident Evil as possible, because the old ones are great.
Oh, yeah, mate. They're just...
And the remakes, except from the third one, have been good also. I didn't like the third Resident Evil remake, but just because it was a bit short, that's all. And they cut a lot of what made Resident Evil 3 such a great game. They just cut it out of the game for some weird reason. So, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to the new Resident Evil game in February. It's like very close to my birthday, so I'll be getting that then. I adore those games, I really do. But yeah, so it makes sense to remake them because they were going back and remaking some of the older ones. It makes sense to do this one as well. I think this one was slightly different. The main person in this is Rebecca Chambers. I don't really remember. I've not played this one before, so if anyone else has played it and they recommend it, let us know. Let us know if it was also maybe like an exclusive to a console or something. I've got a funny feeling it was like Nintendo GameCube or something like that, but let me know. The idea, I think, was to make like every year or every other year, they'll make a remake and then they'll make a new Resident Evil. And by the time they get to the end of it, maybe enough years have passed by that they can do the remake of the remake.
Just saying, FYI, Resident Evil 0 is on Steam, the old version.
So it did. Right, okay. I had it in my head it was exclusive to something. Maybe it was for a while.
I wasn't sure, but it's on Steam apparently, so...
Right, okay, well, cool. Well, keep your eyes peeled, people. I actually believe this bit of news because it was in somebody's resume. So I think that's something that will probably come at some point. And the last thing, Mr. Hans, do you like playing the Football Manager games, the sim games?
Every
sim
now
management?
and then. I'm very bad at them, but I kind of like fiddling around with them. So
Kind of like some of the teams.
yeah. Well,
Trev's.
in one of those earlier versions, I think it was 2006 or something. I don't remember. I think it was called different back then. Also, I think it was called Championship Manager back in those days.
Yeah, Champ
whatever.
Manager, yeah.
I was the one coach that actually relegated Barcelona. Now beat that.
You done it on purpose.
No.
On purpose, you did. We're meaning Football Manager is in us Europeans' version of football. I'm not saying the S word. It's blasphemy over
Soccer.
here. I will get arrested. I'm not saying it. You can say it. Wash your mouth out with soap. Great. I demand you put in a censor over that, and I'm looking.
I didn't say anything.
No. Over Matt and his S word.
Yeah,
You
I'll put like
could always
American
say put a
accent.
sock on her, right?
Yeah, sock on her.
Oh,
Soccer one.
What? Oh my God! There's all kind of wrongs there, man. Anyway, the reason Football Manager 26 is a big deal is because they missed out 25 because of looming deadlines and complications. So they just skipped it and went, "Oh, we'll come out next year with 26." So a lot of people are itching to get it, me included, and I think I can get a pre-order in for £30, which is very reasonable for this.
Yeah.
It's a game that can consume you and has actually ended marriages and relationships because guys are on it way too long. And it scares me, mate. It scares me, but the good thing is when you buy a copy on PC, it also works in a Mac. And would I use at work? A Mac. Will I be gaming at work? No, never. No.
Who does
I
that?
was gonna
Nobody
say,
does
if
that.
anybody
Always
from
work.
Trev's work and listening to this program,
he's
he would
never
never do
worked, too.
such a thing.
Yeah, exactly, man. I don't know what you're talking about. The cool thing here is they're going to be adding the official World Cup competitions, which was never a thing that was in the sim element of it. Only like the FIFA games and now FC games that come out, you had the World Cup or the Euros or something in there. Now they're actually big because the World Cup's next year in your country, Greg. You probably didn't know that because you don't really like that.
Quick question, Trev, to you. In the Football Manager games, you couldn't become a national team manager?
You could way back in the day, man. You could do both at the same time.
So, yeah, when it was called Championship Manager, I'm pretty sure you could be a national coach.
I think you still can, but like you can't be. Don't quote me on this. You couldn't be club and national manager at the same time.
That way, yeah, of course,
Yeah. But back in the day, you certainly could because I love to do that. Yeah. So this is going to be a massive launch for them because it's Sega that are the publisher now, and obviously the developers, Sports Interactive, they signed a multi-year partnership with FIFA. So it's all that Sega money behind them, and all the official kits and all 48 teams will be in there once confirmed. But yeah, so that's pretty interesting. The game is out November 4th, so just around the corner, a couple of more weeks away. But yeah, that's everything on my end for the gaming news, Mr. Gray.
Very, very good. Well, we're going to move back into hardware. We like to go in and out of these subject matters to kind of break it up. I got a piece here which I thought was interesting. I saw an article that talked about a 5060 Ti, but what drove me to it was it's a 5060 Ti single slot graphics card. And I'm going like, since when have we seen a single slot graphics card? It's been years. And I'm sitting there going like, what's this about? So I started reading it, and don't get too excited because it's not really made for gaming per se, although that doesn't mean somebody can't tinker with it. But in any case, it's a 16 gigabyte VRAM in a single slot design. The picture, which I'll show on the video podcast, This thing looks thin, man. It looks thinner than a pack of cigarettes or whatever. I mean, I've never seen anything so thin before. It's just been forever. And they said that basically the single slot RTX 5060 Ti is a unique design that won't see much use in traditional gaming systems, but for users who need to install multiple GPUs in one machine, things might get interesting.
The world of SLI.
Great. Does it show a power cable coming from it? Because sometimes, right, I don't know if you know this, but PCI actually does provide power to its port or its ports.
I'm not seeing one.
It's a small amount.
It's run on the
so
ends.
Usually you have to subsidize the graphics cards with additional power because they take so much. But if it's a low enough powered card, it can actually just run off the PCI Express slot for power.
I mean, from everything I'm looking at the pictures, if I'm going to go by the pictures, I see no other power slot. It's all
on the
drawing
end.
from the PCIe. On the end? Okay.
There's one right on the end.
Yeah.
Next to
There's
the
a
end.
team. I wonder if I got to have a new plug. It looks awfully thin, man.
It does.
Wow.
Yeah.
Basically, they said they're focusing on AI workloads. Of course they are. By clustering several of the cards together, users can gain more memory, better airflow. This is called the Galax, by the way, Galax. It suggests this isn't a standard gaming card. They keep on saying that as if it's not a gaming card, but they say like, well, it's not a gaming card, but you know,
And it's a 16 gig variant. What the hell for such a low powered card? Wow.
Anyway, not a standard card, but by listing NVIDIA Studio drivers, which are typically used for professional applications and not for gaming. I can't wait till somebody buys this and mods the crap out of it, and then you can use it for gaming. It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then you're going to see builds with like 2 or 3 of these.
Yeah.
in a machine. SLI is back.
Yeah. Long live SLI.
It says, judging by the packaging, it's clearly aimed at the Chinese market, so a global launch seems unlikely. Oh, come on. You can't do that to us. The card's going to cost around USD 700. That's all.
No.
Wow.
How much?
That's
700 USD.
Jesus.
I mean, you could afford to buy 3. You can. Yeah, I'm going to say you can afford to buy 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4 of them.
Yeah.
And put them in your machine. Jeez,
that's
you'd have
mental.
like 64 gigabytes of VRAM going on. I'm for that, man.
That's
So
nuts.
I just thought that was pretty interesting, and anybody out there who are modders that are salivating over this, I can't wait to see a build, with this in it. So we'll see.
Yeah. I think it'll happen.
This next story I saw, it kind of directly relates to what Trev was talking about before, with AMD, NVIDIA, TSMC, and all that. Apparently, it seems like AMD is going to beat NVIDIA to launching AI GPUs on the cutting-edge 2 nanometer per node, and they're calling the card the Instinct MI450. It's officially the first AMD GPU to launch with TSMC's finest tech, so they beat NVIDIA to the punch. And Huang, whatever his name is at NVIDIA, knows about this. That's coming up in a second. OpenAI will be among the first to get these accelerators. Why? Because they went into a deal with OpenAI and AMD. TSMC's N2, as they're calling it, the 2 nanometer fabrication technology, marking the first time the company will use a leading-edge manufacturing process for AI GPUs. This could give AMD a major advantage when competing against NVIDIA's upcoming Rubin GPUs and systems on their base, which are only made on N3, not on N2. So, obviously, the wars go on between, which I think is great, between AMD and NVIDIA. So for once, AMD looks like they beat NVIDIA to the punch on something. What I thought was interesting, though, is knowing that, which is probably pretty cool. Now you hear Jensen Huang from NVIDIA makes a comment, and because he heard about the deal that they made with AMD made with OpenAI, but it was never leaked out. He didn't find out about it. Nobody did until the last minute. So I love this. This is his quote when this went down and he found out that the deal had been done between AMD and OpenAI. He goes, "Clever, I guess."
That's cool.
Yeah, I honestly don't think NVIDIA cares that much, to be fair. So
I don't know about that though. He's got an ego, so
Yeah, maybe from that part, yeah. But I mean, I don't think it's gonna move the needle a lot when it comes to sales and all that kind of stuff, because NVIDIA they're so far ahead in sales and everything. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but you know what?
Don't get me wrong.
appreciate-
I do hope AMD actually beats them once in something, right? So,
Well, it says here Jensen Huang was surprised. He doesn't say that that often.
true.
By AMD's excitement toward the M1450 AI lineup, implying that competition is ramping up. But then he also went to say that he was surprised that they even made the deal around a lineup that hasn't been released yet. So he got a little dig into them. Like, why do you
He's
invest in
not
something
100% wrong, is he?
Yeah, but come on. NVIDIA's invested in plenty of things that either came to be or didn't come to be. That's all part of the
Yeah,
game.
it's part of the game. Yeah.
Exactly.
Corpo speak.
Yeah.
I'm just impressed that regardless of whether AMD is behind in some areas to NVIDIA, is the fact that they're not laying down on their butt. They decided they wanted to move ahead and do what they can, and they're striking deals with companies back and forth to do for some of this stuff. So they're not just going back and going like, oh, we're going to get beat this time. Look, they beat Intel, and now they're going to take what they can, of the market from NVIDIA, even if they don't get it. They don't have to get the whole market. NVIDIA isn't as big as AMD isn't as big as NVIDIA. So if they capture even whatever percentage of the market, that's going to be fine on the profit end for them. So they don't have to take it all. I mean, you're talking, what is it? NVIDIA, I just think they was 4.2 trillion USD now. They're ahead of everyone, including Apple.
Number one in the world, yeah.
Yeah. And they're just throwing 30 or $40 billion into some other chip venture or something like that. Like it's nothing. Like, yeah, here you go. 30 billion. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll benefit from it. Here you go. Where can I write the check?
Yeah. Just put it in my bank. I'll look after it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I can live off the interest, and then you can, Anyway, that's kind of it for my side of the technical news. But I thought that was very interesting. I like to see all this the competition. I like to see people that you think are behind not get off their have never sat down. They're always up off their butt trying to do what they can.
Keep trying. Someday it will work. I mean, hopefully
none of us here expected AMD to overtake Intel. That was the last thing we were thinking of. And yet it happened. And look, and even more Trev than I, he was the last guy to ever go to AMD. He's like,
I was,
and then all of a sudden he's got it, he's happy.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with mine. Mine is fantastic.
I understand Trev in this one because my first AMD that I had was a nightmare, to be fair. So.
I remember that. I remember that too.
Oh man, so the 7800 XVD was okay. It was like not good enough yet. So then I took the 9800 XVD, did some tuning on it. Now I'm actually happy with AMD. So.
Yeah, I mean, look, they took their lumps and they worked themselves up and gave them credit.
One thing I have to say though about NVIDIA and AMD is that, I mean, it's not really fair to compare NVIDIA to Intel because Intel did basically nothing for 5-6 generations. Well, NVIDIA, you may like it or not, NVIDIA actually always brought something new to the table.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a difference there. Intel was just, they were too confident. And NVIDIA, I don't think is that yet at the moment. So
I read something that they were asking somebody from Intel. I said, well, does this mean you're going to abandon your GPUs? Because, they cut the deal with NVIDIA.
Yeah.
And their answer was, they didn't say yes or no. They just kind of like, well, it doesn't necessarily mean...
The next generation is still coming because that's well in development. But they're launching Celestial, I think, is the next one. And after that's supposed to be Druid, and I don't think we're going to see Druid. But that's my speculation about this one.
How much you want to bet that the Celestial, whatever, that Intel is going to put out GPUs is going to say Intel, and then underneath it's going to have NVIDIA's logo?
Could be. I mean, that would actually be beneficial for them because
of course,
NVIDIA is a household name. So, the budget NVIDIA cards, Intel. Who knows?
Well, Intel was a household name forever too, man. Commercials on TV. Dung, dung, dung.
Intel needs to succeed in this one because if this doesn't work, right, what they're doing with NVIDIA, then it's over for Intel. So, and I don't want to see Intel go. Actually, I don't.
Actually, to be honest with you, what I see happening, maybe, it's happened before, is NVIDIA's invested heavily into Intel, and so then eventually, as the years go by, you're going to see the Intel name get smaller, and smaller and smaller and smaller. NVIDIA's name on the logo is going to get bigger and
Like a
bigger.
soft takeover.
Exactly. And then eventually the Intel will just kind of fall off, and it'll be like,
Yeah.
NVIDIA CPUs.
It still would be sad though, because I mean, most of us enthusiasts, we all kind of grew up with Intel, right? So in our hobby, we all had Intels. I had Intel until the 9900K, which was a beast of a CPU back in its day. The 10900K was good. 1100, even the ones that are out now are still okay, but they draw such amount of power. They have so many problems. I mean, it used to be that you could just plug and play your CPU, right? Those days are gone, especially with Intel.
I was going to say,
right?
what was that?
Yeah, but Intel, that's done, right? You need to do so much stuff to get it to work. It's like, who wants to do this, though? It's
It's funny when you mention plug and play. I mean, it's kind of like the only thing that you can even maybe say plug and play about is USBs. That's
true.
Just about.
If you get it correct the first time.
But I mean, the other plug and plays will go, this is plug and play. Just put it in. You stick it in. It's like, it ain't working.
Yeah. It's like, you need a driver.
You need a lot
you
of
need
stuff.
to do this. Yeah.
It's
Ridiculous.
Just put a screw right through the center of it. It'll do wonders.
Yeah.
What?
Hacksaw.
All right. Well, sticking with the hardware news, Mac's got a couple things he wants to talk about. So go ahead there, Mr. Matt.
My hardware is now software.
Okay.
Oh, it can become hardware again. You
Yeah,
just got to
that's
get
what-
the blue stuff.
Tablets for that.
Yeah,
Tablets
yeah.
for that,
You got to
sir.
play with it. Yeah, absolutely. It's called the NVIDIA tablet. So welcome back.
They're green though, and Intel's blue, and it didn't do them
How
any
is
good.
it? Oh yeah, that'll just burn before you even eat it. Yeah. So today, what we're stepping into is a look at a brand new demo that I played recently called Global Rescue. The concept of this is it puts you in charge of every emergency service: the fire, police, EMS, even
Thunderbirds.
SWAT. I wish it was Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds would be better.
Ooh.
Let's do Thunderbirds.
Is that the one with the puppets?
Yeah, that was a British show back in the day. Yeah.
I used to watch it.
Well, brain.
Did
Yeah. With pen and paper. Yeah. So yeah, you have in this one you manage and build your base. You manage staff.
Yeah, you're moving around. Your camera's doing the electronic follow thing.
Oh, not that.
Until it's heard me and it's taken over.
We should all do that with our cameras. Put them on automatic and then just start
I
doing this.
hate it, man.
Make people really dizzy.
Yeah. At least I didn't do the eye thing.
go-
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Your eye thing was very bizarre.
Yeah. Next time I will.
Anyway.
Yeah. So with this
So
one,
you're saying
you build your base.
you can have a drink if you want. We'll talk while you're drinking. Hey, did you see that game, Global Rescue? I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. So this one, you build your base, or your office, your building. You manage staff. You have to dispatch vehicles and respond to incident problems across the living city. On paper, it's a fantastic idea. A single hub where you coordinate all first responders, blending management, logistics, and crisis response. The experience, once you dive in, the cracks begin to show, and not just the one on your butt. Buildings and roads don't always line up, which breaks the immersion. That's what she said. The city itself feels more like a backdrop than a living, breathing environment. There's scale, but not much life in that area. The base building is functional, very clunky. Placing and aligning structures can be very frustrating. There's little feedback on the decorations or layouts, whether they matter or anything. Each room is separate. You can't have them in one block. They have to be their separate blocks, which makes no sense to me at all. It's like you don't just go into an office and then come out and then go into a toilet from the outside, unless it's a public toilet. What is that? You don't just have a bedroom and then go straight into the toilet and then into the office. Well, that would be quite Japanese.
I would like to see that.
Yeah.
Well, if you're doing a remote job from home, that's technically correct.
Yeah. It would save a lot of time, wouldn't it? Yeah. Put a fridge in the
Trump
middle, you'd be
knows.
fine. Oh, no shit. Oh, wait, let's have a drink first. Yeah. So with that said, the scope is impressive. The map size is generous. It is a good sized map, but the potential for managing multiple services at once is quite clear. When it works, it does feel like you're running Command Center, as long as you don't look at it. Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. As long as you don't look at it?
As long as you don't look at it. Yeah. Yeah. So far the takeaway is the Globe Rescue is a good idea with solid foundations, but the demo shows that it needs a lot more polishing. The systems are there, the ambition is there, but the execution, especially the city design and base building, needs a lot of refinement. The developers can if they could tighten up the visuals, add more life to the city, and smooth out the buildings mechanics, this could grow into a lot better game for sure. Yeah, there you go. There's my quick review of Global Rescue Demo, which is available to play for anybody on Steam, but it will be releasing soon, sometime in the near future.
I gotta ask you a question though. It sounds kind of weird that they put out a demo and yet most of it seems to be a problem.
Yeah, when I was playing it, I was like, it says, "Oh, put your office down." I'm like, "Oh, office down? Okay. Where's the walls? Where's the things?"
You know what? I want to throw out there to you guys. What's the definition between a demo and early access?
Demo should be like a finished construct of the game that you're highlighting. Here's the finished game. Here's a little demo where early access is not a finished game, and it's still being worked on. It's still in
technically, a demo should be everything. More or less
more
everything
polished.
in the game that
more
should
polished,
be.
yeah.
But only like a limited amount of gameplay.
Why do you
Limited
think you're seeing?
gameplay, a pre-releaser to the full title.
But this is why you're seeing less and less demos, guys, because so many of them are coming out early access first.
Yeah,
and that's my point. They throw around the name demo like
and demos are very limited,
and it's not really a demo.
Yeah, but the demo is actually free, and early access is
you have
paid.
to pay.
Right? So
Yeah, that's it.
the thing is, though, I think early access, maybe not now so much anymore, but it used to be, just put early access tag on our game, and you could do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Right? There's games on Steam that have been in early access for 10 years, which in my opinion is wrong. So yeah, that's not even a game yet, but that's another discussion.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that bothers me about that then is, if it was me, I would rather put out a demo of, let's say, one chapter out of, let's say the whole game is, 10 chapters or whatever.
Yeah.
You put out one chapter with just about everything you have in the game, maybe not everything, but a lot.
Yeah.
So that essentially you're playing pretty close to the real game, but only one chapter.
Yeah.
And I think then you
nice
would get
taster.
such a feel for the game, right? You'd get such a feel for the game that you would either, I'm going to buy it, or I'm not.
As it used to be in the old days.
Yeah.
Exactly. Demos.
I remember that on a
CDs
disc.
inside the magazines.
The magazines with the discs on there.
Yeah.
There's
Good
this
time.
right here. What do I got? Ooh. You stick like 10 demos on a disc.
Yeah. My
because
favorite
you
one
could,
was
you could put
what's
them
that?
all.
Generation Music, where you could make up your own tunes. That was brilliant.
Come on.
Yeah. So
It's
Yeah,
anyway,
except I think it was all MIDI, so it all sounded the same, like
wow. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but with this one, the map, like, if you follow some of the roads, they go through the buildings, and you're like, what the heck? And then just where your base is, it's or what you can place it anywhere. To be honest, in these cities, it'll take over whatever building is there. But it's like the building is slap bang in the middle of a field, and there's no pavement or anything. There's nobody walking around. Very empty. It's very empty. And then none of the rooms make sense. Like, if you put down an office, you want a whole building first, wouldn't you? To put down, let's put an office in there.
Yeah,
And there isn't that.
That would work, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, where's the foundations? Where's all this stuff where you drag?
So you have an office dangling in midair without anything around it.
Yeah, it's just like office there, and then there's a bit of lawn and stuff, and then you put down. You're like, that makes no sense. Oh, let me put pavement around it. Why would I do that? There should be one there already. Yeah, so it's a bit Still needs a lot of work. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Maybe
Definitely.
one to avoid for a while.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
All right, well,
Thank you.
I'm going to get along to talking about some real games now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm really looking
Hey,
forward
wait a
to.
minute. What you mean?
I played 2 games over the last couple of days. I'm going to call this first impressions because, to be honest, I want to play more of them to really, give maybe a proper review. But
More than 20 minutes.
no, I played actually the
You
only
just
game
watched a
I
video
didn't
of 20
play-
minutes.
No, I played the Star Trek game for a couple hours. So
Damn,
that
you
that
changed.
That wasn't even
Well,
that much of a thing.
Are you feeling okay, Gray?
Yeah.
what do you think?
I can see that, yeah. You do look a bit pale.
However, I didn't play much of Escape from Duckov, but there's a reason for it, and I'll explain it.
Did you duck
I
up
was
on
looking
that
forward
one?
to the game because the game looked so goofy and funny, and it just seemed perfect. It was like a amalgamation of real COD or real Battlefield 6 with ducks. So I'm just sitting there going like, I got to get this. So when I saw the price, I was thinking like, how expensive could it be? And it was on sale for $15.80. I'm going like, that's great.
Yeah.
That's like way cheap. I can afford to do it even if it is bad or something.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and did it. But the problem with it from the get-go, and I know it's not everybody's problem because apparently they've sold 500,000 copies already, and the game just came out.
Wow.
So
People
that's
really
pretty
like
good.
ducks.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ducks
Yeah.
and guns.
But there's one thing that really, really, really annoys me about the game because I want to play it, and that is the movement on keyboard and mouse is atrocious. And the game is only meant for PC. Can't use a controller. Can't use a fight stick or a joystick. Not
That's
possible.
Matt screwed then.
Well,
I like a
I'm
good
screwed too
joystick.
because the way the movement went is like and you cannot move the map anywhere. In other words, you know how most maps rotate.
I know the
way you
style,
want,
yeah.
Or you want to rotate it in a certain direction so you can go, you can go straighter or whatever, right? Doesn't move at all. So I'm sitting there going like, so my forward key is now left, and my backwards key is now right, and the others are also reversed, unless the character turns this way, and now my keys are correct, and then he turns that way, and now my keys are not correct, and I'm sitting there going like, oh my god. And I was enjoying parts of the game, but it got to the point where I was getting so frustrated with it, and I just said, "The hell with this," and stopped after like 30, 40 minutes. So then I thought like, oh, okay, well, this would be perfect for a joystick, and but the kind of joystick like in the fighting games, which I have one. So I broke that out, plugged it in, didn't know that it didn't work. I just thought it must work. I mean, lots of games work on controllers and sticks. So I plug it in, doesn't do a damn thing, and then I look back and I find out it's PC only, nothing peripheral will work.
That's like The Witcher 1
man.
back in the day.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, this is stupid. And the one major complaint of the game is that what I just mentioned. Now, despite that, apparently, I guess people are really good at working keys that are freaking reversed or whatever, because it sold 500,000 copies, and there is a lot of people that like the game. But I also went into the forums to find out how many different bugs and or things that they want done with it, including this movement thing I was telling you about, and it's massive. I mean, there's people, they may have bought a lot of copies of the game, but they're all like screeching about one thing or another. So I'm hoping that maybe they get some patches in there, and I hope they fix the problem, because if I could get on the joystick, I wouldn't have this issue any longer, and then I could have fun. So it's a game that looks like it could really be a lot of fun, but, I don't like running into brick walls all the time, so literally.
Great. co-op multiplayer, that kind of stuff. Is that an option? Or?
Good question. To be honest, I don't remember. I think, but I'm not. I don't know about that. I'm not sure. The really funny thing is when you make your character, this is great. You sit there and you have different types of duck bills, and you have different types of eyes. You can put the eyes on the sides of the head or next to each other or whatever. So I'm sitting there flipping through the kind of eye styles, and then I found one that was hilarious, and I stuck with it. It was 2 shotgun shells stuck in his head as eyes.
Kind of look like Daffy Duck.
Yeah, after he got shot, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking at this, it looks great. And then when you sit there and you want to rotate the eyes, you see the shotgun shells going like this. So I was like laughing. I'm sitting there and I'm going like, what kind of beak do I want? So I'm sitting there picking this beak, and then you change the color to the beak. And then for feet, it has everything from duck feet to some kind of human-looking feet. And then it has like sneakers and other stuff. But you got to put the duck feet, man. I mean, it's a duck.
Oh man, at some point. Yeah, you can't put shoes on it, man. Come on.
Yeah,
and then the wings were kind of funny. They weren't really wings per se. So as you choose what wing you want, it looked like big boxing gloves, and I was going like, oh, that looks cool. And then you can make the shape of the boxing gloves small or really big. So I made them big. So he's like these big boxing gloves, and this is before I learned I can't walk around. So I was having a blast with all that. So it's got a lot of good things about it. And I've read and it says it's overwhelmingly positive, 700 reviews. I mean, but man, if I'm assuming that they will fix this issue and you can use a joystick. Yeah. Once it does, I can't wait to go back to it because it was fun just what little bit I was able to do.
Yeah.
And they have something like 6 levels. I mean, not 6 game difficulties. I mean, they got like one that you just explore, and basically the enemies only have like 20% punishment on you. And then they have another one that's 40, 60, 80, 100, right? Yeah. And you kind of go from there, which that's cool. I mean, if you want to just blow things away and
gives it more playability as well.
No, yeah. And if 4 people or 5 or whatever put this game together, it was a very small group. They did a good job in terms of what they did. But I just think that one movement thing is a huge faux pas. So they got to do something with that.
Okay.
Anyway. I'll move on to Star Trek Voyager because I know Trev wants to hear about this.
I played this one as well. It'll be interesting what you guys think.
Can I just say quickly before you talk about it, Gray? I am interested to hear about this. Really am, because I love Star Trek, and Star Trek Voyager is my favourite of all the Star Treks. But the genre type of game it is, I can't see me playing it. But I maybe would enjoy hearing you guys talk about it and watching it, if that makes sense. So carry on, Gray.
Yeah, there's definitely games that I wouldn't play, but I enjoy watching. So yeah, I get what you mean. The game has the feel, it isn't actually a turn-based or RTS, but it has those aspects, I guess, a little bit of it, which is okay with me because I like those kind of games. But some people don't, like Trev or whatever. But I don't think that really took away from the game. But essentially, what it is that you're starting from kind of like from scratch. If anybody's familiar with the Voyager series, they basically go into this Badlands area and an accident happens and they get thrown 10,000 light years away, et cetera, et cetera. So you are reliving this with the crew. So you're Captain Janeway, and you have a couple of the other crew members and stuff from the show. Not the actual actors, by the way. That's one thing I wish they could do.
That would have been nice.
Yeah, there's no way they're going to be able to pay 4 of the cast, 5 of the cast, or more than to do the voices. That's just not happening. No. So all of it is text driven in that sense. So you have to read, Captain, blah 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 across the screen. I've gotten kind of used to reading it now as I play, but man, I would love to have the voices, man. At this point, even if they can't get the cast, I would. I don't know. Get some impersonators or something.
AI bot or something. Yeah.
You can't use an AI because the thing is, you would have to go to them to get their release to be allowed to use their voice. Now, yes, that would be cheaper than hiring them to do it, but they ain't going to go cheap, man.
No, actually, I was talking more community-driven, like an AI mod or something. So.
That's a different story, right? Yeah. Believe me, I thought about that. As soon as I saw the words going across the screen, I'm going like, someone's got to make a mod for this.
Wait for AI Mod Corner, which we've not had in a while, actually, from Mr. Gray, because that could happen.
Oh, I think it will. The only thing is with mods like that where they actually use the actual voices, they can't just put that on. You won't see it on Nexus mods because it's going to be illegal for them to do it. So the only way you're going to be able to find it is through other methods.
Why would it be illegal?
Because you're using their voice and making money on it.
Oh, as long as if you do it for free though. Then it's
if you do it for free, they are legally allowed to come and tell you and say, I didn't give you permission to use my voice. You can't do it.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get into that kind of mess.
Yeah.
It's going to be somebody that actually modded it for their own self, and maybe spread the word somehow.
Yeah.
The funny thing about this though is, I may have told you this guys a long time ago, but on Star Trek Armada 2. Okay, I worked with this guy way back to mod the game for the voices because back then it was a lot easier to do. It was a simple find out where the voices are and then just go in there and use the clips of the real people and then write over the ones that they had in the game. Now nowadays you can't do that because they go into their own proprietary file extensions. But back then it didn't. They were like MP3s or waves or whatever. So I spent a lot of time pulling clips off of all the shows. And I went in there and I overwrote a shitload of files in there. And man, did it make a difference. It was great. I was getting these voices. I was getting Janeway and Cisco and Klingons and everything. It was super. So I can imagine if somebody out there, and I didn't say anything about this, but if somebody out there who does a mod like that, just kind of like, just pass the word around and
Yeah.
But I would love that. That would be super. But I'm not expecting it, especially from a small developer. Okay, fine.
So the game.
Let's skip over that for now. So let's skip over that one for now and go on to the rest of the game. So basically, the game is kind of, I guess it's kind of linear in some ways. I mean, but I'm enjoying it because the graphics are really good. I mean, the Voyager looks great.
Stunning.
It really looks good, and so that almost to me is
The
worth it.
characters could be a bit better.
Yeah, the
Slightly.
characters, they're kind of like a cross between the blocky crap that you used to see and something good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like in between. So yeah, you're right. They could have done something with it, but again, small developers,
Yeah.
Plus, they might not have wanted to get the likeness exactly right, maybe because they're afraid. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But I kind of went past that one. But as far as like the interiors of the ship, not bad. The exterior shots are really nice, and the Voyager looks great, and all the planets they come up to, at least so far, it's only a demo, look really great. But essentially, when you're playing the game, now you're in the Badlands. The ship has been badly damaged, just like they did in the series, and you have to start repairing the ship little by little. So essentially, you're basically in this first star system, and you scan the planets. And each planet has some of the elements you need: duranium, deuteronium, whatever, dilithium, whatever. Yeah. And when you see that you've scanned it and it has that, you go over to the planet, and you either try to establish a mining colony there if you've leveled up enough, or a debris field that happens to be nearby, and you're able to gather up the necessary things. And as you gather up some of these elements and things that you need, you slowly start to repair the ship. So you repair some life support. You repair, for instance, I had to get the replicators online because they're eating canned dog food or something. I don't know what it was.
Emergency rations.
But they weren't really happy about it. So I got that going. So the morale went up. So you have all these things to keep track of. Is your crew happy? Is the morale down? Before I fixed the replicators, the morale was minus 1,000. So when the replicators came up, the morale came up a lot further. And you have to, look around the ship and make sure you fix certain things and stuff. And I did go like off, what do they call it? Like off book, and tried to fix a couple of things that supposedly I didn't have to fix until later.
I tried that as well.
But I just wanted to see if I could still do it. And it did allow you to do it. Let me take back on that one. It did allow you to do it if that part of the game had already uncovered the area of the ship.
So you had things to fix before you can get to that floor.
You had a little more liberty to go and fix stuff now that you didn't necessarily have to do later. Now, there could be a consequence to that, because if you fix something that doesn't really directly relate right now, you may be short on the things that you need when you get into trouble. Right. But you know me, man, I want to see if I can just screw with it. So I did that, and I was able to do a little of that here and there. And then finally it says, up in the corner, it says what mission you're on. I'm going like, man, I'm going to go a couple planets first. So I go a couple planets, and I gather up some minerals and materials and whatever. And then finally it's kind of like saying, I got to do the mission. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I go to do the mission, etc. The characters act pretty much like themselves. I don't know. Paris acts a little odd. Yeah. I don't. He's not. It's almost like he's the rock and roll teenager character, and I'm going like, he wasn't exactly like that, So they could have lightened up on that. The other characters seem fine. Janeway seems fine. Tuvok seems fine. I haven't gotten to the point where B'Elanna comes on yet, because remember, it's the Maquis, and they have to
no
make
7 or 9 either, because that's season 4. So
that's coming though. That's going to be in the game.
Okay.
Because I noticed when I was working it, there's some areas of the ship that are dark that have a Borg symbol on them.
Borg 10.
So I'm sitting there going like, okay, so that's going to be in the future. What they should have done, though, to be honest, is not put the Borg symbol on there so that it would come later. But they already gave it away, so you already know.
Okay.
That's going to come or whatever. The only other thing I can think of, and I don't know if I would want to call this a downside per se, but if you've seen Voyager and maybe Voyager multiple times, like some of us, you're kind of living the story that you already know, as opposed to going into a story that's new that you don't know.
True.
Oh, yeah.
So, again, I'm not looking at that as a terrible thing, but it would have been nice to maybe, now maybe the main game when it's done, because this is just a demo, they'll incorporate that perhaps. I don't know. However, in the series, of course, you couldn't just up and go to a planet that easily, but in the game you can, so that kind of adds another little layer. Is it perfect? No, but at least from right now when I'm playing it, it's probably, I don't know, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10 now.
When's it out and how much will it be, Gray? Do we know at this stage?
No, I don't. I'd have to look up and see what's up. I didn't hear any date. They didn't plug any date. They just said wish listed.
No price either.
To be honest with you, I couldn't find a date on it originally, but when the demo came out, I was actually surprised because I thought we weren't going to see anything for a while.
Hopefully
so when
next
the demo
year.
dropped, I was, yeah. And they even tell you, of course, the usual thing. This is a demo, and it's not the finished product, and there might be more things, and and that's all fine. But look, I think the demo of that and my experience playing it was a lot more fun than playing Duckov, where I'm running into walls all the time. So, I mean,
more
there's
polished.
that.
Good, man.
So, notice the time. It's almost showtime over. You want to go ahead with the quiz and call it a day or what?
We can do it quickly. Yeah, we can squeeze it in. Go for it.
Okay. All right. The real famous EGP quiz, and I'll throw all this out to you guys and see if you know. All right. Question number 1. Watch Dogs 2. Not the first one. Watch Dogs 2 is set in which area of the United States?
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Okay.
San Francisco.
You say that too?
Seattle.
2 San Franciscos.
Yeah.
Trev?
Seattle.
Ding, 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 San Francisco.
Yeah.
Aha.
And Matt said it first.
He did.
Matt's an encyclopedia for these games.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
first thinking
I got
of
the game
Legion.
also, so.
Yeah, I think it was free at that point, wasn't it? Yeah,
Was it?
yeah, on Epic
Yeah.
ages ago.
All right, question 2, and we talked about this off the air before we recorded the podcast because there's kind of a disclaimer to this question, but we'll talk about it in a second. The quote, "A delayed game is eventually good. A bad game is bad forever," came from what developer?
Miyamoto, but
What?
Siobhan Beeman.
sure.
I recognize that name.
No, I don't know.
Not a person. Let's say not a person, but a developer entity.
Ah. Nintendo Switch.
I
No
only
good?
know the meme, so I'm sorry, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
repeat this one.
Okay.
Don't
Give
know.
up.
Yeah.
Developer is Nintendo.
Ubisoft.
Oh, okay. Right.
Now,
Damn.
here's where the controversy came in that Hans reminded me about. It was originally attributed to one of the chairmans or something
Yeah,
of
Miyamoto.
Nintendo, and we end up finding out that he did not say that quote. In fact, they're not even really sure who exactly said it. The only
Right.
thing that they seem to know is that it came out of Nintendo, but they don't know who or what it was. It's actually rather a good quote. But that's the story right now. Nobody actually knows. They only know that it came out of Nintendo, but nobody seems to know who the hell said
Right.
it.
If you
So,
do know, let us know. So we know.
If you know, let us know. Yes, and we'll give you a free copy
Oh.
of this video.
Yes.
Question number
non-refundable
3. This
default.
might be a little harder. Maybe Matt might not get this one. I don't know. Who fights against the GDI in Command and Conquer?
The
Now, this is
Brotherhood of Nod.
General Nod.
Okay, I was going to give you a
Brotherhood.
multiple choice.
I still play Command and Conquer 3 and Kane's Rat, so yeah.
Nice.
And
Brotherhood.
I play the Black
You
Hand.
want to
of
hear the
Nod,
other
so-
choices, or should I not
Yeah.
even bother? All right, the other choices are General Nod, the Army of Nod, the Brotherhood of Nod, and the Sisterhood of Nod.
It's
I
the
like
Brotherhood
General
of Nod.
It's a
It's
brotherhood.
Brotherhood, yeah.
Okay, Hans gets the point because he said it first.
And
Ding,
Oh,
ding,
is
ding.
that how
play
it
Kane's
works? All right, okay.
If you play
He
Kane's
never-
Rat,
he-
you can play with the Black Hand of
He,
Not, which is
he
even
never
cooler.
waited till the end of all the question was actually said. That's
I know, I
terrible.
was halfway through the question. Like,
I don't know.
I still play the game, so yeah.
I know
Well,
that
I
one.
mean,
Yeah,
now,
okay.
Technically, when you play like over here, I don't know if you see the game, but Jeopardy, when you ring in, you have to answer the question, even if he's not done saying it.
And if you're wrong, then it's
So-
over, I
You're
guess.
wrong,
So.
you're wrong. Yeah.
Oh,
And
we
if
ran
you're
out
wrong,
of time.
you look pretty stupid.
Oh dear, never mind.
All right, so that brings us up to the end, and we will be back next week. We hope you all enjoyed the show. Remember, if you want to see the video version of this, it'll be out in a couple of days from the audio, or around the same time. So tune in because you will see some of the clips of things that we're talking about and pictures and whatnot. So it adds to the flavor of the show a little bit. Otherwise, we will see you again next week. And guys, it's been fun. We've had a really good time. Time just kind of flew, which is a good thing. And we will
Promise
see
my
you all.
daughter
Yes,
again.
get that doll up there and stick it. Yeah, there
Promised
you go.
her, sorry, bye.
Yay!
All right. Bye, everybody.
Aye.
Cheers.
I don't want to set the world on fire. I just want to start a flame in your heart.